In your view, what would Jesus say about the fact that because of the way Christians worship, Sunday is the most racially divided day in America?
First of all, I think that Jesus is saying that church continues to be a place that we are not just racially divided, but we are divided at every level. Our churches largely have become places where we gather with like, whether it's like in terms of poverty, or like in terms of wealth, or like in terms of skin, or like in terms of theological expression. That our churches have become a bit homogeneous communities. And that's a difficulty. I want to recognize that we've come a huge way in 50 years. I want to recognize that that divided America in Birmingham, Alabama in 1950 is no more. That Birmingham is gone, and largely that America is gone. So if I'm looking at the progression, we're moving today to a world that's filled with more respect, more mutual acceptance of diversity, and more integration than we've seen in a couple of hundred years, if not on the face of the planet. So we're just living through the birth pains of a larger time when, yes, there will come a day next year, 20 years from now, when our Christian churches will be more integrated, when all of our churches will be more integrated, because we are falling in love with each other again as we fall in love with our one God.
What message of hope about the future of Christianity, based on the Christian Gospels, would you like to leave with our viewers today?
There is a quote by Martin Luther King in his famous letter from a Montgomery jail, composed in December of 1957. The quote means a great deal to me because it was shortly after that I stood outside of my grandmother's house burning. Martin Luther King said, he wrote this as his sermon to be read in his church on Christmas morning: "Send your hooded perpetrators into our neighborhoods at the midnight hour. Burn our homes, break our bones, hurt our children, and we will not hate you. We cannot in good conscience obey your unjust laws. We will win our freedom. But when we win our freedom, we will have so appealed to your heart and to your conscience by our ability to suffer, that when we win our freedom, the victory will be twofold, for we will have won yours as well." If we believe as Christians in the risen Christ, we have no reason for anxiety. The future, tomorrow, next year, 10 years from now, will always have more union, more communion, more respect, more justice than today. Each generation is simply challenged to live the words of Martin Luther King. We all have places in our families and in our civic communities and in our religions and in our world where we want more justice. That's just simply our burden to bear for the next generation. But we must do it from his sense of equanimity and hope.